Hi, everybody. It's me, Tinsley Bradford from And You Want to See MyFeet.com, the popular lifestyle, relationship, and dating blog. And I'm also the author of the Settlefree Dating Method for Women, a no-nonsense advice guide to remind you that you are more. Here to talk about today's topic, effective communication and the long-term effects it could have on the future of your relationship. Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like someone you were talking to and things were going well and you guys were all caked up on the phone at night and booed up, and it suddenly that communication stopped? It wasn't as much, and then it seemed like it slowly started to decline and fade away. Then you start feeling like that person was no longer interested in you despite your efforts to continue the communication. You felt like you were being a bugaboo, and then you decided to just start stepping back and saying, hey, they must not be interested anymore, so let me move on. Has that ever happened to you? Well, if it has, I'm here to tell you today, you have a reason for feeling like that. You have a reason to feel like at first it was going well and then something changed. Now, how you handle that point of communication from there is going to be crucial to the effectiveness of that relationship if you want that relationship to grow, evolve, and continue to go forward. It's very important to try to figure out what's going on. Now, I'm going to say this. If you know that you played a part in the communication gap, you may have stopped communicating as much, not calling as much, or whatever, then it wouldn't be fair for you to suddenly pick up the phone and send the person who you were talking to a message going, you did this and you didn't do that, and trying to pretty much blame them for the gap in you all's communication or for the difference in you all's chemistry and where things have gone at this point. Don't you think that would be unfair, especially if you two had stopped? Now, there's a difference if you got sick. One thing about getting sick is it's weird because you're sick, but if you're not dead, you still can tell somebody you're sick so that they can know that things have changed in that relationship communication. You got to heal. You're not going to be on the phone every day. And I'm certain if that person hears that from you, they'll understand. But it's all about setting the tone, because keep in mind, if the relationship already started to decline, communication was different, the vibe felt a little different, and then you suddenly just fall off the map with no communication at all, that person is going to probably believe that you're just not interested in them. Because if it goes from everyday communication to laughing and having fun with each other, sending messages and pictures to nothing, then, I'm sorry you're sick, but I didn't know. You didn't say anything. So at one point, what do? Do you just run behind the person playing mama and therapist, or does the person owe you some kind of explanation as to what happened? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's difficult to really see the true meaning behind being interested in someone and no longer being interested in someone. One of the things that I like to highlight is owning your part, owning the part you played in the communication gap, and just make it up to the person the best way you can. If you really like that person and respect that person, whether it's the early stages of dating or if it's someone you've been in a relationship with for just a few months and you're still getting to know each other, keep in mind that person could be kind of fragile or sensitive, and you don't know all of the parts of their personality yet because you're both still getting to know each other, right? So you want to make sure you don't jump in and be ready to blame somebody before getting to know or finding out the root cause of what caused the communication to decline in the first place. You don't know if that person's been hurt and that person's now feeling like, once again, somebody's not talking to them, so let them just move on and keep it going without becoming one of those women that's running behind someone and begging them to call. You gotta wear both sides of the hats, or becoming one of those guys running behind someone waiting for them to call. Women, it's important to remember that if this guy is not showing you any interest anymore, then he may not be interested. But if something's going on where it changes and he comes back trying to blame you, to me, that's just an excuse maker. Because if you're not completely dead, you had a way to call me and tell me that you were sick. So I just feel like it's a two-way street for communication, and the way you handle it, tone is everything. If you come across as a blamer looking for someone else to point blame on because of the communication gap, that's not going to sit well with the person that you're trying to get over to. That person's going to look at you like, you're blaming me and you didn't call either. Hello. Grow up and stop acting like it's just about you. Get over yourself and your own personal issues and be a man, and respect the fact that you did something to make her feel like you were no longer interested, and stop trying to pretend like you didn't do anything. Make sure you visit andyouvanttoseemyfeet.com. Use hashtag Settlefree anytime you're talking about how you're no longer settling for that mess in relationships anymore. And I look forward to hearing your comments below. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.